I have been an English teacher for almost 6 years now. Over the years, I've started Brightside English and now I have more than 50 experienced tutors. Now, overall, I have taught at least 700 people, and my company has taught more than 6,000 students as well. So, the most common question is what is the most important thing to learn when it comes to the English language? Now, you may be thinking, that's common sense. It's grammar, isn't it? But then some of you may be thinking, no, it's vocabulary. But then some of you would be thinking, actually, no, it's sentence framing and stuff, right? Now, all of these are correct answers, of course, because it's subjective. But the best thing is actually none of that. Now, of course, when you think about the topic grammar, that's 100% correct. You cannot talk any language without there being grammar mistakes because then you start looking like a fool. You need to really learn what the rules are of grammar, and most importantly, you need practice. Now, of course, it could also be vocabulary because you don't want to sound like a second grader saying the word very 1,000 times, or if you're saying the word like a lot, because I like saying the word like a lot, like it makes me super happy. It's like that. You do not want to sound like that as well, right? Now, it could also be sentence framing because you don't want to sound like Yoda, right? Speak English, me, well, I do. You do not want to sound like that at all, trust me. But in my career, as small as it is, if there was one thing that I could say which is extremely important when compared to all of these things, it's confidence. Confidence would be the most important skill that you need to study, not just for the English language, but temporary for your entire life. But here's how crucial it is for the English language. In college, I needed to give a speech. Now, I had the script ready. I had everything ready and set to go. I was typing it diligently on my computer the last night. I printed it out and I kept it on my suit. The next morning, I wore another suit and I completely forgot about the script. So now I'm sitting in college with my speech coming up next in around 7 minutes or so, and I am here without nothing to say. Really quickly, I start typing all of the important points which I remember in my mind. Write this, write that. But at the end, it's just a skeleton framework. It's not completely the true speech. 10 times worse than the script that I created before. But when I got on stage, thankfully I've always been comfortable when it comes to public speaking. So I remember talking, and I remember making a lot of mistakes. It wasn't just grammar mistakes. I was saying the word like a lot. Apart from that, I kept repeating the same situation again and again. Honestly, in my mind, it was the most horrible experience ever. But one thing which I made sure to do was always keep using my hands when I talk, always pausing in between sentences, always making sure that I keep looking at the audience, always making sure that I put a joke from time to time, and no matter what, no matter how many mistakes I made, to always make sure to correct that mistake immediately in the next sentence. Have you heard of the term fake it till you make it? That's basically what I did throughout this entire speech. Now, of course, the saying goes fake it till you make it, but instead of that, I say you should fake it until you become it. Confidence isn't just one thing that you can learn via reading books and all. All of that is theoretical practice. If you really need to apply it in reality, then you need to start implementing that. And that's super simple to do. It can start super easy from the way how you sit, from the way how you present yourself talking to people, the way how you smile when you're talking about anything, the way how you introduce yourself, how hard you shake a man's hand, how you position your shoulders when you're walking and things. All of this will start to tell the people around you that you are being more confident than you were before. What will this do? You start seeing the reactions of different people, and now you are convinced that you are confident. This is just one small example of how you can fake confidence till you actually master confidence indeed. Now, alright, I don't want to sound like a life coach, but how does this help when it comes to communication, and why is it the most important thing to learn when it comes to English? Because I've given a few webinars myself. I make a lot of grammar mistakes. When it comes to speeches, when it comes to me taking lessons, sometimes I make a few mistakes. That's completely true. Even the students that have passed Brightside English make a little bit of grammar mistakes. I'm not saying that we eradicate your grammar mistakes at all. That's not the case. But the difference is difference would be how you would make the mistake before and how you make the mistake now. When I make a mistake when it comes to grammar, or if I'm saying something stupid, or if I'm going in a whole rambling thought in my mind, I confidently accept that mistake. The difference between that and the average English speaker is that they think of mistakes like the devil. They need to avoid that 100%. But then what's happening? You're only thinking of mistakes, which makes you try to focus only on that mistake. And guess what? Now all you're thinking about is a mistake. But instead, if you treat mistakes as just a byproduct of communication, then that's never going to be a problem for you at all. Now, there are three main ways how you can actually become more confident when you're speaking English. The first thing is use filler words. A lot of people think filler words are completely horrible and you should never use it. But think about it, when you talk for a long period of time, of course, your mind is going to get tired because you're thinking constantly. So, what do? I use filler words. For example, if I'm saying an example, if I'm going to talk about a topic and my mind is running hard, I will extend words. I'll say I or and during this time, I'm actually thinking. This is exactly what you must do as well. This makes you a little bit more confident because if you master filler words, then you can master making mistakes because you're not going to be embarrassed when you do. Tip number 2, I'm completely talking about speaking now, is actually read a book out loud. The way how you read is going to be the way how you speak. You can practice so many exercises like this. I'm going to put a few links in the description where you can actually click and read it. It's just like news, like a teleprompter. You can do that too. But if you don't want to do that, pick a book, any book, and read it like as if you were presenting the news. When you do this, your tongue muscles are going to become much more stronger. Your mind is going to be more comfortable when you're talking for longer periods of time. And before you know it, your confidence level would actually increase. And the third most final step would be the most difficult, but also the most important and brings the most realistic results as well, which is actually forcing yourself to talk to other people in English. Now, a lot of you guys watching this video know how to speak English very well, but you keep it to yourself, which is the biggest problem. If you want to improve a language, you have to talk. No matter what, you just have to talk. This can be kind of awkward because you can't speak English to your friends because you speak to them in your native language. Don't worry about that. Instead, what you could do is when you're ordering food, it's a stranger, order in English. If you make a mistake, who cares? It's a stranger. The next thing which you can do is when you're going to shop and if you're asking for something, ask it in English. It's a stranger, no shame at all. Now, nonetheless, if you feel like you want a personalized tutor that can actually help you, then just join our one-to-one courses. Pre-booking has started for January. You should head on over to our website and do it now. So yes, from all of my experience, I say that mastering confidence would be the most essential skill that you need to have. If you do this, then yes, you can do grammar, you can learn vocabulary, you can learn sentence framing as well. But with all of those 3 things learned, you still can't master confidence. Whereas if you master confidence, these 3 things become extremely simple. If you have any questions, then you should make sure that you comment them down below so that I can answer them. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. If you felt like you learned something, then you should hit the subscribe button. But until next time.